Well, hello everybody. Uh, Welcome to Dale's NFL playoff picks. Mr. Jones is on assignment. He'll be back in a couple of weeks. Until then, I'm going to be giving you the sports and he'll be giving you the entertainment news when he comes back. Okay, if you watched the wild card games last week, some games were blowouts and some games were actually good. Let's talk about Cincinnati and the Raiders. Yeah, or as I should say, Cincinnati and the NFL who hates my Raiders. Okay, if you watch the game, there was two controversial calls in the game that decided actually the game. One was a push-off that Ja'Marr Chase did on the defensive guy in the Raiders that should have been offensive pass interference, but of course they're not going to call it. And then, of course, the call that everybody knows about is that the whistle went off when Burrows was running to the sideline, and it looked like he went out of bounds when he threw it in the end zone, and everybody just stopped, including the defense. But also what killed my Raiders, and again, this is my Raiders, this is nothing unusual, is 11 penalties. In the playoffs, or even regular season, penalties will kill you. Okay? So that's one game. And, unfortunately, I actually did something last week, but it seemed for technical difficulties, it didn't come out. I figured the final score would be basically 24-21 and ended up being 26-19, which is 45 points either way. So, it is what it is. And the other game that was interesting was Dallas, the Dallas game, which was really interesting. Dallas and San Francisco. Now, this game was back and forth, which was no surprise. I figured San Francisco was going to win, not by much, a field goal. So, back and forth, and then everybody saw what happened at the end. Prescott, for whatever reason, with no timeouts, ran the ball. And then by the time the referee had to set up everything, game was over. I guess that's what he needed to do, but it was kind of crazy. But just like the Raiders, Dallas had 14 penalties at the wrong time, so that kind of so you could blame it on the end of the game with that what happened with with no time on the clock, but 14 penalties to kill you. They even said that's what happened. So that's basically what happened. So now you have Tampa Bay playing the Rams, you have Green Bay playing San Francisco, and in the AFC you have Buffalo playing Kansas City. And Tennessee playing Cincinnati. Should be 4 good games. Okay, let's talk about Green Bay and San Francisco. Two teams that do know each other. Now, this game, to me, depending upon the weather, because again, we're doing this on Thursday, so between now and then, weather could change in Green Bay. The point spread I see here is 6.5, and the over and under is 47. Now, I think the final score will be 24-17 Green Bay. But if the weather's not that bad, might be more. But I'm figuring 24-17. So if you take Green Bay with the given 6.5, they'll cover. And if you take the under, well, I told you 24-17, so it'll be under 47. Now, if you bother with DraftKings or FanDuel, what you could do is actually do something called alternate spread, meaning you can actually buy points. So if you want to cover both bases, what you could probably do maybe is you could take San Francisco in 8 points, and you can knock down Green Bay from 6.5 to maybe 5 or 6. So you might split it down the middle. Just an idea. Okay, now we got the Tampa Bay game. Tampa Bay is 3 and 48.5. Now, this to me might come down to the defenses, because they both got decent defenses. Rams basically blew out Arizona, so you figure with the Rams, you got Donald and you got Von Miller on the defense. As far as Tampa Bay, you got Pierre-Paul and you got a couple other players. So it might come down to that. To me, the only chance the Rams really have, as far as I'm concerned, is They got to put pressure on Brady. You don't put pressure. You keep Brady in the pocket, he's going to take you apart. So they have to do is basically corner blitz, at least move him out of the pocket, and this way, you know, you have a shot. Or if you can't even at least, you know, get to him, at least hit him a couple of times. Because remember, my Giants a couple of years back, that's how they basically won Super Bowl. They put enough hits on him that, you know, couldn't do anything. So I see the final score as being 28-24. So I think the game will go over. The point spread is 3, so it's 4. So if you want to basically take Tampa Bay with giving it 3, okay, they'll cover. With the Rams, you can maybe get 6 points and maybe split it down the middle. Okay, so that takes care of the NFC. Now the AFC, you have 2 very interesting games. Kansas City and Buffalo. 2 offensives. It could be, this could go crazy. You could have a 35-28 score. So basically, it's 2 and 53.5, which I'm not surprised. It might even go to 55 in all honesty. So I say with this game, again, defenses are decent. Buffalo got a good defense. Kansas City's is okay. But I see this as a really close game. I think Kansas City 28-24. So basically, if you take the 2, if you take Kansas City with the 2, you're going to basically cover. 53.5, it'll be close. So if I was you, if you want to get more points on the over and under, push it to 55. This way, at least you got another, you know, 2 points, because this could go down to 53 or go to 55. We'll see about that. But I think basically it's going to come down to Buffalo has to put a pass rush on Mahomes, because if you let him run all over the place, that's it. Keep him in the pocket. I think you got a good shot. And Josh Allen, the same thing too. Well, Kansas City's going to try to do it, put pressure on him. So it might come down to the defense is putting more pressure. And Buffalo, they got to try to control, you know, Tyron Hill and Kelsey, because if you don't, they're going to be running all over the place. Buffalo, you got the same thing too. With Diggs and Singletary, you know, you got a lot of, and Knox, you got a lot of players to move around. So this could go back and forth. That game could be really a toss-up. So now we got, let's see, which game did I actually miss talking about? Tennessee and Cincinnati. Now, Tennessee had a bye, which might help them, might not. Injury-wise, it probably does. And Cincinnati's coming off their first playoff win in 31 years, which is, well, most people, you know, weren't even born at that time. So the point spread is Tennessee given 3.5 and 47.5. This could be 27-24, 28-24. Now, Derrick Henry's supposed to come back from an injury that he had basically through half the season. So it might be dependent upon them. If basically they could start running the ball, to me, this game is going to be ball control. That's what I look at this game being. Whoever controls the ball the most, I think will win this game. And I think that's probably going to be Tennessee. Now, you know, Tannehill is going to get his stuff. If Henry does anything, A.J. Brown's going to get some touches. And to me, the key for Tennessee is Julio Jones. You got the guy from Atlanta, he's got to start doing something. Or else they're going to just double team A.J. Brown, and then you're going to get stuff underneath, and that's going to help. Now, as far as with Cincinnati, you got Jamar Chase, Burrows, you got Higbee. They got a decent running game with Mixon. So it's going to be, I think it's going to just come down to probably the last 2 minutes, and Tennessee's going to score to actually win the game. So that's what my picks are going to basically be so far. So basically, like I said, Green Bay to cover, Tampa Bay to cover, Kansas City in the tie one. With Tennessee with the 3 points, I would say honestly, if you want more points, I would say basically take Tennessee and maybe get 5, or if you want to go the other way with Cincinnati, I would say try to get 5 or 6 points. I would honestly take Cincinnati with the 6 because I think they can actually hang in there. Okay, so that's basically as far as my football is concerned. So let's see what happens with that. On a personal note, I would like to wish my sister, whose birthday is coming up on the 24th, happy 60th birthday. And also, after doing hair for 45 years, she's going to finally put the shares down and retire. She'll probably do some stuff, of course, for, my niece and nephew, her boyfriend, so on and so forth, and maybe even me. For the most part, she does that. So let's start from the beginning. So it's 1975. At the time, my sister's 13, it's like summer 75. My sister's on 13 and a half, and I'm around 11, almost turning 11. So this was probably the worst time for the both of us, because that particular year, 3 things happened, and if anybody could beat these 3 things, good luck to you. So basically what happened was, parents got divorced, we lost the house, and my grandmother died. Yes, all in 1 year. So 75 was not the best year. So a year and a half later, we moved someplace else in the Bronx, and my sister basically leaves at age 15, lives with somebody else, and I don't hear her for a couple of years. And that's when she started to get an interest for doing hair. So basically she started doing hair professionally at the age of 15. Now you think about it this way, 15, not most people have jobs or really don't know what to do with their life. But my sister basically knew what she did, what to do anyway. And that's the profession, like I said, she's doing them too basically now, which is 45 years later. So, we both learned early on, as far as what to do, our mom basically told us, like, you know what, to be very independent, not count on people, because at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, you can't. People say they save, but they don't do. It's just the way things are. So basically, my sister moved about 20-something times, and I've moved 20-something times, and sometimes all by myself, and same thing with her. So she moved around a lot, so like I said, for years, I really didn't hear from her. So for the past about 30-something years, she's been living upstate. Got 2 kids who are doing very good also. My niece is a lab technician, and my nephew is in advertising. So my sister's done good. So basically, they're okay and all. But, I look at it this way. I respect my sister a lot. Probably didn't say that much to her, but you got to respect somebody that's done a job as long as she's done. So, I wish her well for whatever she's going to do after this. But, like I say, doing something for that long, that's tough. Because you think about it this way. Not many people have jobs for that long. Think of even professional athletes. You don't play football for 45 years. No, you basically retire, like even Tom Brady. When he retired, he'll probably be 45, 46. Okay? But I would say out of any of the professions that I can think of that people last longer, it's actually the hair. Because you have barbers, 60, 70 years old. But like I said, and the thing is with my sister, like I said, she did it for that long of a time period. But, she did that. She was actually a registered nurse. She got into real estate, and she actually had her own hair salon for a while. So as far as I'm concerned, she's done it all. And I respect the hell out of her for that. So at the end of the day, proud of you, sis. Enjoy your retirement. Hopefully I'll see you, next couple of months. And once again, happy birthday. Missing you guys up there. And that's it for me. So thank you everybody for listening to what I had to say. As far as the football picks, if you want to listen to what I said, cool. If not, well, you do you. DraftKings, FanDuel, and that's it. As far as my sister, once again, happy birthday, and talk to you soon. Okay, everybody, have a nice day. Bye-bye.